INSiiGHTS Sports Talk.
1, 2, talk that talk.
INSiiGHTS Sports Talk. Traveling the country for the biggest stories in collegiate sports. Bringing you the news that will impact every college athlete in America. From the Ivy League to the SWAC, Big Sky to the Big Ten, Notre Dame, FAMU, Miami or Maine. No university is too big, no college too small. We tell it all.
Talk that talk.
INSiiGHTS Sports Talk with your hosts, the coach, Mickey Clayton and Clayton Smith. They're bringing you insight on all the latest stories from all the biggest names in collegiate sports. Join us for the next 60 minutes for INSiiGHTS Sports Talk. The sports talk show of a different kind.
Welcome to INSiiGHTS, and today's show we're going to talk about APR, and in that we're going to tell you exactly what it means, how it's affecting the different institutions around the country in terms of their eligibility. And my co-host here today, the smiling, effervescent Clayton Smith. How are you, Clayton?
What's going on, Mickey? How you doing?
Oh, it's going pretty good. We've gotten some calls from people wanting to know when were we going to do something on the APR because they were concerned about it.
Well, it's here.
It's here. Man, that APR thing is really affecting a lot of different institutions. Before we get into the meat of the matter with the APR, we'll give you an update. You know, we've been televising our television show. We've been at Cody's on Capitol Circle Northeast in Tallahassee, and we're preparing to have a few shows on that. And we've been getting real good support from our fans and supporters, and we appreciate it.
Well, we certainly do. We need your input, and we need you to stay with us.
Exactly. And I think when we're doing the format we're doing, we're getting a lot more audience participation in it. And that always helps. Clayton was nodding his head. I was hoping he'd pick up and say something. He was just kind of
that helps a lot. We love your participation, though. We really do.
We absolutely do. And one of the things before we get into the show, we have a component that we're going to talk about in terms of bringing people up to date with what's going on in the sports world. And we have a new segment that we call Ride or Die. And everybody know about that ride or die, girl, but ours is ride or die in terms of athletics. Clayton's just cracking up. We should have had that live on TV there. And what we're going to talk about is ride or die in terms of things that have gone on that people are excited about, have done positive or didn't do positive. I'm going to pass this one on to my co-host first and see if he wants to pick ride or die and who it was, and then I'll give mine for that same category.
All right, well, my ride or die is Pat Riley, Miami Heat.
Okay, is that your ride person or your die person?
I'm going to ride with him.
You going to ride with him? Okay, tell us why you're going to ride with Pat.
I'm going to ride with him because Pat has the experience. He knows how to put together a team. People are worrying about this situation going on with LeBron James and opting out, and whether Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh are going to opt out, and also what certain other free agents are going to do. I want to ride with Pat Riley because I know Pat knows how to put together a team. He knows the ins and outs of the salary cap in the NBA, and I think he will be a success next year. Not down the road, next year. Not saying they're going to win the world championship. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, but they will be deeply in the mix. And I actually believe that he'll put together a team that will probably be in the finals next year.
Okay. I won't argue that one. Is he going to have LeBron with him?
I believe he's going to have LeBron with him.
Okay. My ride or die is with the San Diego Padres, and that would be in your sport, Alex Torres. And he became the first Major League Baseball player to sport the new ISO block protected pitching hat in the game. And it was a little large, or in fact, if you listen to social media, it was a lot large. You know, some of the comments that people tweeted about the hat, and somebody had made a comment that you could put 4 families inside the hat, and they asked him if the moon moved closer. I mean, but he wore it because he wanted to let the kids know that it was okay to wear that hat, and he put it on. So he would be the person that I would ride with. You
Okay,
know.
all right. The had it his own gravity field.
Yeah, yes, see, there you go. See, there you go, his own gravity field. Okay, who you have for a die that you couldn't ride with?
That I can't ride with?
Yeah.
Carmelo.
Oh, you staying in basketball.
I'm staying in basketball.
Okay.
I don't know where Carmelo fits in. I just don't know. So I'm not riding with him. I don't care if he's going to ride out of New York, if he's going to ride to Chicago, if he's going to ride to Houston. I just don't see it. I got him in the same boat with Dwight Howard. I'm not riding with him.
So die on Dwight Howard.
That's right. I'm die on that one.
Okay, well, the one I have died with is the second coming of Mike Tyson, Luis Suarez, the biter, one of the best soccer players in the world. And he just seems like they don't feed him enough, or what. He's become a serial biter. During the World Cup, he bit another person on the shoulder, and that wasn't the first time. That's like the third incident they've had with him. He's been suspended, and I just think you know that's just a despicable act and cowardly act, and that's just a die there. That's just something that you can't tolerate.
And then to top it off, after he bites somebody, he falls out like somebody hit him.
See, the runner-up for Suarez was soccer in terms of all this falling out and yelling and screaming, and they showed a replay just so nobody gets hit. And they're on the field rolling around, just carrying on. Boy, that's football. They'd have just whipped their behind. But I'm like, I don't really understand that, you know. And the referee with Suarez was a Mexican named Marco Rodriguez, and his nickname is Dracula because his resemblance to the version of that character on Mexican television, who didn't see it. So Dracula allowed him to bite him. I guess he was going to get some blood from him.
He's more like Count Chocula.
Count Chocula. Well, we're gonna close our segment on Ride and Die Insights. We're gonna take a break, and then we'll come back and we're gonna talk about APR, what it is, and the effect it is having on institutions around the country, and how the NCAA keeps trying to govern athletic progress, graduation rate, and we're going to talk about that, the effects with black colleges, the HBCUs, the larger schools, the disparity in scores between the men and the women, and those between black and white. We're going to come back and talk to you about it in about 90 seconds.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Insights, follow us, INSiiGHTS, 2 hours in the middle. Casinos by Events. It's a place for all your formal wear and for your nice suits. They fit everyone, and especially the big and the tall. Casinos by Events. They fit one and all. Tell them Coach sent you. Go by Casinos by Events. Tallahassee Mall.
1, 2, talk that talk.
Trying something new. That's what it's about.
Ready?
Yep.
It didn't look good, man. When I hear you talk about you trying new things, it's refreshing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I play this back, you're not going to like it. What do you think that you're not good at? Technically, that was really bad. You're not bending your knees at all.
Yeah.
You locked up like a 2x4. Relax. Do I play basketball? No. But if you wanted to invite me, don't bend your knees, but let them loose a little bit. Wiggle, but not really too much. Back straight, but not really.
Ain't you got somewhere else to go?
No, I'm here all day. I would do it because that's me trying new things.
Hello? What up, homie? I'm trying to relax. Kev won't leave me alone.
Hello? Come on. And splash.
Why you laughing?
This ain't just sport, man. This is golf. But it's fine. We're trying something new. Yeah. Let me get that. Try it again. Let's try it one more time.
And that's Insights, and we're back, and we're going to talk again. We're going to delve right into APR, and the APR actually stands for the Academic Progress Rate. And it's a multi-year measurement of academic progress and an institution's retention of student athletes. The APR is designed to track student athletes who receive athletic financial aid. The report is based on 2 factors: eligibility progress towards graduation and retention. The bottom line is with the APR, they have it where each individual team should be graduating roughly 62 to 65% of their student athletes. and they try to make sure that the various institutions that are governed by the NCAA stay on par with that graduation rate. If you don't do that, what happens to you, Clayton? What happens if you don't stay on par with the APR rate?
Well, if you don't stay on par with the APR, you will be penalized, be assessed certain penalties, depending on the degree of transgression.
So what does it mean when they talk about people getting level 1 or level 2 or death?
I knew he's gonna get it. I said, Mickey know all this stuff, so I got the service stuff. I said, Mickey gonna ask me for the details. Okay.
When you made that look, you say,
This is his summer, but I ain't high like that.
Okay. Well, the APR has different penalties, and level 1 penalty is a practice reduction, and level 2 is in-season and out-season restrictions, and that means the number of games they can participate in, and it determines or has an effect on postseason eligibility, and it really has an effect on teams that, in terms of qualifying for the NCAA basketball tournament, qualifying for the volleyball tournament, softball tournaments, and a lot of schools are involved in conferences that don't allow them to participate in the conference tournament if they don't have eligibility to play in the NCAA tournament.
Right. And in the level 3 penalties include all the level 1 and 2 penalties, plus a menu of potential additional penalties. These can include financial aid restrictions, additional practice and contest restrictions, coach-specific penalties, including games and recruiting restrictions, restricted access to practice for incoming students who fall below a certain academic standard, and restricted membership and potential multi-year bans on postseason competition.
Now, APR has been something that we've been tracking for a little while on our show. We've had interviews with a commissioner relative to it, a basketball coach at Southern, Roman Banks, who had played and had his team winning the SWAC and went to the SWAC tournament. And we talked to him a little bit about what actually was going on relative to the APR rankings and how that actually is affecting Southern, who has been hit with a number of APR violations across the board in their sports. And we're going to let Roman Banks, head men's basketball coach at Southern, talk to us.
Well, Coach, explain to our listening audience a little bit about what is really going on with Southern basketball and some of the other teams in the SWAC, but we'll talk about Southern University and the ARP rankings and one time not being eligible to participate in the NCAA tournament and off again, on again, playing in the SWAC tournament. So would you clarify that for us a little bit and give us some understanding so that everybody will know what's really going on?
Yeah, I think to get the clarification is that when I first took the job, we had APR restrictions. Academic progress rate wasn't up to the numbers that the NCAA requires Division I schools to have. And so when I came on board, we was on a 3-year probation. But we was able to, after my first year, we was able to present a waiver. And we did that showing that when we took over the program, how our academic numbers risen. And it's a type of formula that they computed in that we reached at. And therefore, last year, which was my second season, they allowed us to go to the tournament, the conference tournament, and to participate in postseason actions. So we did. The guys did a good job, or we did a good job grade-wise, bringing grades up. We brought some people back, graduated those guys. So we definitely thought that we were on our way. The snag this year is that they just came back in December and said, well, we're putting all winter sports on probation. They won't be able to, men and women basketball won't be able to compete in postseason play. Now, to get that understood, that is not due to the student athletes not performing well in class. Our academic scores are much better, and they continue to grow. This is related to institution control, where The NCAA requires information from financial aid, requires information from the register office, and it requires information for the compliance that it all has to line up.